default one for honesty, where we win. Porn is poison. This is the very, very last one. I want to talk to you real simply about the benefits of the porn-free and no-fap lifestyles. One, you conserve energy. Because imagine the amount of time you subtract from going to pornographic sites or masturbating. That energy is conserved, and of course, this is everything is interconnected. The spirit, soul, and body is interconnected. So, especially when people do sex, because it does engage every part of the body. Your heart provides blood to your whole body. Your knee is involved in your body. Your fingers are involved in your body, and so it will conserve energy if you don't do it. It really conserves mental energy. It conserves that, there's less, so we'll move on. That was one, conserves energy. Two, you have a pure mind and pure conscience. Hey, listen, I don't have, my phone's not locked. And if a relative, my mother or siblings or sisters-in-law or brother-in-law, future brother-in-law, he's going to marry my sister this fall, but if anyone uses my cell phone, I don't start sweating about maybe they'll find some junk in it. Even if they log into Netflix, they're not going to find any junk because I have I have a pure mind, pure conscience. It doesn't matter. I don't have to sit there and wonder when I shake hands with a pastor at church that I've been doing something wrong throughout the week. I wasn't drinking the night before. It gives you a pure mind, and plus, without pornography, that's another thing, but it does give you a pure mind. You start seeing people, we'll keep it going. 3, no stress. Benefits of going porn-free and fat-free is no stress about getting caught or having to hide stuff on your phone or in your room or something like that. People, boys and girls who date when they're not supposed to, for instance, they create unnecessary stress on themselves. And because they got to hide this relationship, just like men and women who are committing adultery or fornication, at the office. They got to hide it. Just like when you do it, there's less stress. I mean, you won't be arrested for having child pornography on your computer if you don't put pornography on your computer. That's true. I mean, you won't be concerned about your boss firing you because you've been going to porn sites or you've been sending dirty pictures to people who ain't married to you. Or you've been chatting and using, what's his name? Hey, your house is connected. Your IP address to your phone or house is connected. And so, technically the military or the government could probably find out wherever you went. It's because it goes to a specific address. But it creates no stress. If you're not doing pornography stuff, it's a no stress. Imagine that. You can go home, relax, watch TV, be blessed. There could be a pretty lady on the show. Oh, she's pretty and stuff like that. And you can watch and be wonderful, But you just enjoy life and you just whatever. But when you got pornography in your life and you see that lady, you start, trigger points or whatever. And the next thing you know, it disrupts the peace of life because now you can't go. Imagine a child who is addicted to pornography. They can't wait for their parents to go on trips or go out to eat because they want to be home so they can masturbate. This is not a joke. And imagine someone who goes on a camping trip and they're used to porn, and so they go and they're like thinking about it throughout the trip, and they're supposed to be enjoying God's creation, the beautiful nature. Which leads us into 4, there are no trigger points. If you stay away from pornography and masturbation, there's no trigger points. You don't wake up aroused, you don't go to sleep aroused. It's really interesting. And the lie that just because someone, hey, listen, guys, first of all, if you are waking up aroused with an erection, you need to ask the Lord and control yourself and expect not to. That's not something that everybody does. So first of all, if someone said that was a lie, but you don't have to. That's just stupid, to think that you had to. But anyways, just because someone gets aroused does not mean, oh, it's time to have sex. No, that's obviously not true. As a child, you learn how to control it. So when you get married, you're not committing adultery. Flat out. That's really a help for you. But, just because you get aroused doesn't mean it's time to have sex. Because if you teach yourself and train yourself that trigger point, oh, you got aroused, oh, it's time to have sex. Well, what happens when your wife goes on a 1-month-long trip to Europe or to Russia or to, Afghanistan? You know, what if she goes and that little thing happens? Then that's why you have people in sexual immorality and they cheating on their spouses and husbands. Cheating on their spouses. You know, the women's cheating on her husband, man's cheating on his wife because of all the unnecessary trigger points. It's just bad business, and it's So, but with that, there's no trigger points. The boy can go watch the girls play volleyball. It's not going to affect him. The girl can watch the boys swim meet. It's not going to affect her. She can walk by the basketball court or the football field and the boys don't have their shirts on because it's 98 degrees outside and it's humid in Texas. That's not going to affect her. Oh, they're just hot. So they go to the swim party. It doesn't matter. No trigger points. And number 5, one of the most important things, aside from fat conserving energy, and you do learn how to control yourself. That's a very, very important thing. I didn't put that in there, but controlling yourself is one of the greatest things you could ever do. That's the most powerful, because people who are wicked and live in sin, they actually are having their body tell them what to do instead of their spirit telling them what to do. And that's bad, because the body have you backslap somebody when the spirit will tell you, leave the person alone, walk off. See, and then you end up in jail for backslapping because you didn't realize that was the mayor's son. But anyways, you see number 5, the best thing, you see the opposite sex and people as other individuals and not objects of arousal. This is very, very serious. You see other people when you are not playing around with pornography and masturbating constantly or sexual immorality at all. You can start seeing that lady who welcomes you inside the restaurant as a person with dreams, aspirations, and feelings. And when if you don't play around with it, when you go and you understand, you might like the girl, but you might find out and chat with her that she likes someone else. You're not going to turn yourself into some of these television shows where you just keep pursuing her, and that fantasy on the show where you end up with the person. No. You can actually, that doesn't usually happen. But the fantasy shows, you end up with the person in the end. Yay. But that's not real life. But you can miss whether they want to be with you or not, because you're not walking in maturity and you're not looking at her as an individual who might be just trying to study and get through school. She might just be a cheerleader for the basketball team because she wants to, but she's not interested in dating you. If you're a guy, same thing with girls. You can look at the man and see, but quit watching those stupid teenage shows where the girl is with the captain of the football team. Girls, stop watching that junk. Stop watching soap operas and stuff like that. Because if you do, you can create fantasies where you'll be with someone and you can completely destroy their life and future because you are putting them inside this mold that you're not supposed to be in. If you leave out pornography and masturbation and junk like that, you can actually start looking and finding out and understanding different people. All girls are different. All boys are different. Not all boys are thinking about having sex. In fact, 99% of them aren't. In fact, girls, you don't need to be telling boys to take off their shirts when they're visiting you. Men and women, parents, you need to stop letting kids have co-ed sleepovers. Stop this foolishness. Are you kidding me? This is not something random, where you can just do whatever you want to. They're living, breathing adults. Children are real, and they have real emotions. People have real emotions. That's why if you walk in wisdom, this is almost turning into dating advice, but if you walk in wisdom, you will not superimpose, I want to be with you. You're trying to study, but I want to be with you, so I'm going to blow up your phone until you come so we can sit and hold hands and look at these swans, these ducks at the pond because of this fantasy she created or this fantasy he created. Riding the bike into the sunset. I got to study for my midterms because she's going to be a nurse. But no, I'm going to ride my bike into the sunset with you. So without masturbation, without pornography, without sexual immorality, you really will start seeing people as human beings with imaginations and aspirations. And that's beyond just the physical. Because their dreams and emotions, that's why a lot of people's marriages dissolve and relationships aren't compatible. Because they have different worldviews and she's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. But anyways, then you get to the spiritual realm. Hey, it's totally different. So that's why I want to encourage you. Stay away from pornography. Stay away from masturbation. Stay away from sexual immorality. Because you'll be able to see people for who they are. And they might be hurting. He might have 2 million people following him on that social network. But he might be a miserable person. And he might be dead from suicide 3 years from now. Because he's miserable. He saw all those people who were just looking at him for his body. And he's miserable. Look at actors, look at sports people, look at musicians. Lives miserable, lives being destroyed. That lady could be smoking hot, but who knows? She might be getting abused verbally by her father every night. She comes home, she's making millions of dollars in the porn thing, but her father's calling her trash and doesn't want her coming to visit what's face, and he's just being mean to her. She shouldn't be doing pornography, but let's just say he's just being mean. He's been mean to her whole life, and she was very, very beautiful, but he didn't want to have anything to do with her. Just another mouth to feed. But anyways. You can make it. Live with me.